So I love to serve this over pasta, fettuccine, linguine, even spaghetti works great, whatever you have. So I've just got the pasta started. I'm going to just season the pasta water with a little bit of salt. And I don't want to overcook that. I started it just before the show, so Ann, in a minute or two, remind me to take it out. Okay, now for the chicken. The recipe calls for 3 to 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And if you notice, we're going to take a look at these chicken breasts. Not all the chicken breasts are created equal. Some are really big and you know, more chunky. Some are smaller, but they normally are thinner at the ends and then thicker in the middle. And that is not so great when it comes to cooking chicken. I think we've all cooked chicken and then cut into it, and sometimes that center is pink and not cooked through, and that is never a great thing. So one of my secrets to getting it cooked through and getting it to cook very quickly, because it seems like I'm always in a hurry, is to pound it out a little bit. And the way I do that is I put it in a Ziploc bag or between 2 pieces of plastic wrap and use the flat end of a meat mallet and just give it a quick pound. And what that's going to do is even it out so that we don't have that thick part in the middle. And it's also going to make it quite thin so that it's going to cook a lot quicker. Now you don't want to pound it until it's completely ripping apart. So we're just about there. For the longest time, I didn't have one of these meat mallets. You know, I was a newly married couple, and you know, there's other things on the budget. Finally, have one of these now. They're wonderful. But if you don't have one, I used to use at the back of a frying pan, a heavy-duty frying pan, a rolling pin. You could even carefully use a wine bottle in a pinch. So there's lots of things that you can use to flatten it out. If you really want this dish in a super-duper quick hurry, cut the chicken up into little pieces. So sometimes we, don't have time to even, we need it really quick. So you could cut these chicken breasts into smaller pieces, and there we go. All right, so I'm going to get a little bit of, I'm going to do a combination of butter and oil into a big skillet, the biggest skillet you have. And we're going to bread this chicken a little bit. Not a heavy breading, just a light coating of flour. And I just want that to heat that pan, but I don't want it to overheat. I can already tell my pasta is done. So I'm going to go ahead and drain that quickly. Just because I don't want it to overcook. Okay. Hey, by the way, everybody who came to our big night out last week, it was so fun. We were at the Appleton Beer Factory last Monday night, and it was such a lovely evening. Leah and her husband and their family, it's a family-owned restaurant, everything made from scratch, put out a 5-course meal that was just delicious. So thanks for coming, and guess what? We have a big night out coming up in March, too. So keep watching. We are headed to a great restaurant in the area. They're putting together a wonderful menu, so keep watching the show and our website, and we'll put details on. March 30th is the date, so start talking about it, thinking about it. If you missed out on the last one, don't you dare miss out on this next one. Okay, let's get back to the chicken. So it's all nice and pounded now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to dredge it, lightly dredge it in some flour, and season those chicken breasts with a little bit of garlic salt and pepper. Or you could use regular salt, it's up to you, but I like the garlic salt, gives it some nice flavor. So both sides with a little garlic salt and pepper. And then I'm going to get it, and this is just a light dredge, it's not a real thick, into our oil. So we'll do this again. Again, season it. I know it was a big movie-going weekend. I meant to see a movie. There's a bunch of movies I wanted to see, but I didn't. But I do have a really clean house, and it's very organized, so maybe next weekend I'll see a movie. All right, let's turn this heat up a little bit. We'll just do 2. When I flattened those chicken breasts out, they really got nice and, well, we could probably do 1 more. What do you think? I think we could fit one more in there. But I don't want to overcrowd the pan. So if you're doing more, do this in batches, is my advice to you. This is a real simple dish. Really, it's about the sauce and the chicken, and it's a light, lemony wine sauce that really is fantastic. All right, let's get rid of this bag. Don't need that anymore. Let me just peek at the chicken. It's going to cook pretty quickly. And I've got my pan on about medium-high heat. I don't want it absolute high because I really want this to be a nice golden brown. I don't want it to burn. So that's why I had the mix of olive oil and butter, because I can raise the temperature of the pan a little bit more. If I just did all butter, I'd risk that butter burning, and that would ruin the dish. So a little mixture of olive oil and butter in this dish, and then medium-high heat. You notice it's still a nice buttery color. And we're just about to flip these guys. So the other ingredients we have some artichoke hearts, a little bit of dry white wine, some parsley, which I'm going to finish the dish with that, and some lemon, some fresh lemon juice. So I'm going to go ahead and give my parsley a rough chop here while my chicken breasts are finishing. So this is a real simple recipe, and it seems like I always have chicken breasts in the fridge or freezer that need using. That's one of the things that's a huge staple in our house, chicken breasts. So you know, rather than baking them, or this is just kind of a way to serve them, and it feels a little fancy. Okay, ooh, these are pretty. That's the color we're looking for, and that little bit of flour gives a little bit of a nice coating to the outside of that chicken. So we've got some artichoke hearts. These happen to be, I just want to quarter them. These happen to be whole artichoke hearts, so I'm just going to give them a quarter. And these are just canned. And we've got some fresh lemon juice too, which makes all the difference in the world. When you have such a simple recipe like this, fresh lemon juice rather than the bottled stuff is going to make a big difference. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to get these out of the pan. And this is, I think, a mistake that a lot of people do is, and these aren't fully cooked yet, the chicken breasts, so we're going to get them back in the pan. But you see these great drippings on the bottom of the pan here, that great, you know, the kind of the crust from the chicken. We want to use that to make a great pan sauce. And so I'm going to deglaze the pan, which is a fancy word for soak it up, with some dry white wine. This is our Dora Peninsula Winery wine. It's perfect white wine for cooking. Some chicken stock and the lemon juice. So a lot of people will just fry their chicken in the pan and then, you know, take that pan and pan fry it and then just wash it out right away, and they won't take advantage of the bits on the bottom to make a nice sauce. And that's what they do at the restaurants a lot of times, is you'll get these really nice dishes, and the sauce they did, and there's so many different sauces that you can do, they just use the drippings from that chicken, and it just makes all the difference in the world. It really gives some nice flavor. So in goes our fresh lemon juice. A little more lemon juice. I like it real lemony. And and this is going to cook down just a tad. In go our artichoke hearts. Smells fantastic. Now the secret ingredient, or one of the things that I love to use in the dish, you don't have to. These are capers, and they've got kind of a lemony dill flavor. You're going to find them near the pickles in that aisle of the grocery store. I remember buying these when I was a kid. I always loved to cook, even when I was a kid, and I was always experimenting with new recipes. And I bought a jar of capers, and my dad says, we still have that jar of capers in our cupboard somewhere. I don't think it's good, Dad. You can throw it out. But I remember him saying, what is this jar of nonsense that you bought? But anyway, it was one of those things where I wanted to try a recipe with it, and maybe I never got around to using it. But to this day, I love putting capers in sauces like this, or it's really great. So in go my chicken breasts. They'll go back in here to finish cooking. But it's really wonderful in tartar sauce. I know we have Lent coming up, so for people who do fish fries at home or like tartar sauce, to put a little bit of the caper in there gives it a yummy lemon flavor. It's delicious. So I'm just going to let these chicken breasts finish cooking a bit, and then we're going to finish the dish with a little bit of butter toward the end and some parsley. And this is, like I say, fantastic over rice or pasta. I love it over a linguine or fettuccine or even spaghetti. So it's just a great way to take ordinary chicken breasts and very quickly, in 15, 20 minutes or even less, and turn them into something that's a little bit special. And if you're looking for this recipe, by the way, you can get it on our website. Coming up, some more recipes that are kicked up a notch. Macaroni and cheese in the slow cooker, which is perfect for Lent, and a new way to do burgers too. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back.